A big hello to all the viewers. Welcome again to the DLife.in channel. I am Shashikant Iyengar, your host today. I am a low carb nutrition coach on the DLife panel, and I am the only SMPH accredited low carb coach in India, and the only one in India with more than 10 certifications on low carb nutrition. And for those watching this program, this is not a nutritional or medical advice. People are requested to take the guidance of the doctors and the low carb nutrition for any change in the nutrition. So D-Life is a community platform for low carbers. It's a platform for those suffering from diabetes, obesity, polycystic ovarian disease, blood pressure, and other associated metabolic conditions. So in D-Life, we have over 250 success stories and more than 1,200 dishes, low carb Indian recipes, which is specifically tailor-made for our taste. DLife also offers now a diploma in low carb nutrition for those aspiring to start their own low carb practice. So more information you can always find it in DLife.in website. You can ping any one of us. And DLife was developed by Anup Singh, who is an engineer from IIT Roorkela. So from Roorkee, sorry, I think Anup, you keep always mentioning this. So, so today we have a special guest. We have Arun Kumar with us, who is a low carb nutrition coach, and Arun Kumar has more than 30 years of experience in the pharma industry, specifically in the pharma sales. So he has a very, very unique profile of not only knowing the medication, the disease, and now also nutrition, and probably he's one of the best person who also knows how to read all the lab reports. So in short, Arun Kumar is our Guruji in D-Life community. So Arun Kumar, welcome.
Thank you, Susi.
So Arun Kumar, I'll ask you to introduce yourself briefly.
Yeah, sure. First, good afternoon to all audience. First of all, I would like to tell you about myself, about my career and some experience in the nutritionist as well as the career as a trainer also. I started my career in 1980, precisely, then January 1980, with one company, pharmaceutical company, and I continued. Later on, I changed the company, later I get promoted. And at the time of when I retired from the job, I was a sales manager for East and North India. So vast country was, half of the country was under me, and a lot of people are working under me. Pharmaceutical as per concerned, later before retiring from as a salesperson, the company put me in the product training department also. So I got some exposure about 2.5 years of giving training to the new recruit, training to the manager, training to the medical representative, all. Even I am giving training to the managers, the area manager and senior. And when I retired, then I started consulting with some pharmaceutical company, a small pharmaceutical company who cannot afford to have their own product marketing team. So there was a consultant. And there also it can say that I'm continuing my pharma job further without, the formal job. So that continued up to 2019, early of the 2019, before the first lockdown. I was working for 3-4 pharmaceutical houses, and they are also the same, giving the training, giving the promotional materials for the selection of products and all. So in that case, I have a very vast experience about the products and all. Not only the, chronic disease the product, but also the acute disease products. This was my career about how my career has grown and how I am here. Then I joined D-Life in 2015, precisely in the March, 15th March 2015. I was diabetic since when I joined the D-Life. I was diabetic more than of 24 or 25 years of diabetic history. So when I was searching for getting rid of the diabetic medicine, because my diabetic medicine was increasing every year. So when I joined D-Life, I opted the low carb, and within 6 months, my half of the medicine has gone, And after 2 years, I get rid of all medicine. And just I was only on the metformin for few years further. I was on the low carb and I tried to, since I have a long history of diabetes, so I have very strict about my diet. I cannot afford more than 30 gram of carbohydrate every day. Then in 2021, Anup Singh came to Patna. Anup Singh, the founder of the Delight, he came to Patna. I met him here and we discussed, and I requested him to enroll me in the diploma course of low carb nutrition. And I did the diploma in that, which completed in 2022. And then after I'm practicing as a low carb nutritionist. Okay, Sasi.
Yeah, so Arun Kumar, this is very, very interesting. So, of course, today you are here to discuss one of the case studies, but nevertheless, your case itself is unique because you have been diabetic for so long, and then you managed to reverse that. You managed to get off what is called as sulfonylurea class of drug.
Yeah.
Just briefly, in minute or so, can you just tell us which drugs you were in? And
actually, when I started, as per the norms of the medical community, the first prescribed is the metformin. So doctor prescribed me metformin. First doctor was my family doctor, so he was quite close to us. So he first told me, Arun, look, nothing to worry. You just take starting glyphosate. Glyphosate is the brand he recommended me. I took for 2 years. But since at that time I don't have a knowledge about the low carb and everything, nutrition and all. So as usual, food was I was taking. And then after 2 years, when I approached him that my sugar is out of control, fasting is 135, 140, 150, and PP is somewhere more than 200. I told him, sir, it is not good. So he told me that either you take another medicine or you contact a endocrinologist. At that time in Patna, in my city, there were only 2 or 3 endocrinologists were there. So I met one. He added first this glyclazide, which I took for 3 4 years. And after 3 4 years, again the same sugar level was returned to the 140, 150 like this. When again I went him, he told me that okay, I'm changing this. What he did, he changed glyclazide with the glimepiride. Glimepiride I was taking 2 mg, then 4 mg, then 6 mg. And he told me, don't worry, the maximum dose is 8 mg, so don't worry for that. Because I asked him, sir, you are giving me 6 mg, will it having some harmful effect in my body? So he told me, don't worry, it is 8 mg, up to 8 mg I can prescribe. Anyway, so glimepiride, and he added pioglitazone also for insulin resistance. So 3 drug was started continuing. It continued up to 2009 and 2010. Then again the problem is same. All drugs are actually glimepiride if you take, or any other SU drug if you take, after some time, your beta cells will be completely, defunct. So if you go on squeezing the insulin from the beta cells, a point of time come when your beta cells no more will produce insulin. When at that time I gone for another doctor, another endocrinologist. He told me that now newer drugs have come. I have to prescribe some new drug, but better you take insulin. So insulin is such a thing. I was very afraid of taking that. So not for the side effect and all, but for the everyday pricking 2 times or 3 times in my body, that was very scary. So I told him, sir, try to give something other drug, not insulin. But he just told me, now you continue this and you reduce your carbohydrate. The first doctor I met at that time, he told me to reduce your carbohydrate. So accordingly, I reduced carbohydrate. So instead of the 6 roti or 8 roti in 24 hours, he kept my roti up to the 4 to 5. Then it has some effect on that. Rice, actually, this is the notion among the diabetic community that rice will increase your blood sugar, not a roti. Anyway, this continued up to 2012 and 13. I was a member of Health Unlocked. I think Anup Singh also know, you also know. In Health Unlocked, somebody told me that Anup Singh is opened up, is following this, and later on in 2014 when he opened the Daylight Foundation, so somebody told me that he joined there. It is a low carb, and you will certainly get benefit. But you know, in unlock, health unlock, there is a lot of contrary statements are also coming. Don't go to low carb. You will have a heart attack. You will have a this, that, that. I was a bit scary. But finally, I thought when I have to go to the taking insulin, and one of my friend who is, I mean, working with this AIMS, Patna AIMS, in the nephrology department. So not doctor, but he was a pathologist there. So he told me, Arun, look, I have seen many diabetics who are having more than 20 years to 25 years. They have to come to my unit for dialysis because at that time your kidney will be ruined. I was very afraid of all this. So हमने सोचा कि okay, मरता क्या ना करता, let us try this low carb. What will happen? क्या होगा? होगा. Then I joined D-Life after a lot of suspense and doubt and all. So in 2015 in D-Life, there are good persons, Anup Singh, and remember some other person also. They are now not active in D-Life, but they are very good. They guided me how to go ahead and all to this. And slowly, I started stopping grains. And within 6 months, I stopped all grains, roti, rice, whatever it I was taking. And I was taking also, but egg since I was a vegetarian in my family, there is a culture of vegetarianism. So egg was not allowed. But later on, after seeing Shashikant, when Shashikant started egg, हमने कहा जब ये अय्यर ब्राह्मण egg खा सकता है तो मैं क्यों नहीं खा सकता. So I also started egg, and now my diet is very strict. Every day, 4 or 5 eggs, and then mushroom, vegetables like mushroom, and some soup of the green vegetables and all. That's all. I'm very strict in that. This is my story about the controlling the diabetes. Any
Fine.
substitute?
Thanks, Arun Kumar. So we can talk about this unique case you had.
Uh-huh. Actually, recently, even in the first week of November, I got a phone call. He got some reference of mine, and he contacted me that, look, my weight is very high. I am 6 feet, but my weight is 106 kg, and I have other problems also. So what are the other problems? First problem is the migraine. He was having at that time 4 or 5 migraine attacks within 3 or 4 months. Doctor told me that we have to give some. Doctor has written some antipsychotic drugs. So he told me. I told him, don't take. I will do something for you. So I asked him to go for the test report, and you WhatsApp me whatever your test report. When test report came, then the many things opened up. He was not having migraine, he was not only having the migraine and weight, he was also having diabetes, having fatty liver, and above and all is the TSH was high, so hypothyroidism. So I told him, look, you have this. If you agree to adhere my advice and adhere my guidelines, then I will go further. So he agreed. He told me, nahi, oh, this weight is also increasing. Then you are telling me I'm diabetic. I told him, your report is here. HbA1c is here. Your fasting and PP glucose is here. You guess. And your TSH is here. So he agreed. He started on 12th of November. When I advised, he started on 12th of November. And on 12th of November, he has given the reports also. So I told him that in Hindi, I have told him that just shut your eyes and start what I'm telling you, start doing that. He started doing exactly. Apart from the low carb diet, I asked him to keep your carb intake up to 50 grams per day. Not more than that, up to sometimes 60 grams he may give. No fruits. Fruits, you just stop all the fruits. Stop all the seed oils, whatever you are cooking in the butter or ghee, because he was not liking coconut oil. And I also advise him to do some exercise. If possible, not then only 1 hour walking is sufficient, whether any time. Problem is that this top guy was working with some IT company. So his life was very disturbed. So I told him, don't worry. You just stop taking any food what were served in the office. I mean, they are getting served food in the office now, that burger and pizza and all. I told him, stop all this. Keep some nuts with you. If you hungry, then you take nuts. This was my advice to him regarding the diet. I told him that start with your, he is not taking egg also. So I told him that take 200 gram paneer, take 200 gram hankard. I told him how to make hankard. And he was cooking. I asked him, can you cook? He told me, yes, I can cook. So I asked him, you cook your food yourself, whatever time it is. It is low carb cooking is very less time consuming. So he agreed. Then he told me, sir, problem is that I cannot take only vegetables or only hankard and paneer. You have to give some option to me. So reluctantly, I told him to you can add oats, steel cut oats you can add, and chalo कुछ दिन देख के कैसा चलता है. So I was surprised. After 1 week or say 8 days, he reported his sugar level. I told him that don't worry about your weight. Weight will follow your with the diet. Weight will reduce. Don't worry. Don't put, I mean, take any worry in your head that you're having obesity. Obesity will fall down. Don't worry. Then he first reported because he don't have glucometer also. I asked him to buy a glucometer. He bought a glucometer and he sent the WhatsApp message on I think after 7 or 8 days. I was surprised. His PP blood glucose was 96. I told him that next day you give me your fasting also. Fasting was further surprise. It was 66. I told him I'm because he's a young now. He was just 34 years old. So his metabolism is very high. Even little tweaking in the diet have a lot of effect in the blood glucose or other things. But weight has not reduced within 7 8 days. I told him, don't worry about the weight. You continue what I am telling. Further I have also given him some supplements. First supplement I have given him vitamin E, 400 IU. You take just once a day after lunch. Second supplement was selenium because his liver enzymes were also elevated. You can show slides if you want, Sashi, so that people can see what is the difference. So I'm continuing. So his liver enzymes are also dysregulated, SGPT, SGOT, and DGT. Yeah. Continue. Yeah, continue. This. Look, this is the 12th November's HbA1c 7.2. And then on 12th January, he has a second blood report. That was the HbA1c 5.4. Difference is fasting blood sugar was 112. And on 12th January, his fasting blood glucose was 62. And difference is PP also 197 to 96. And weight after 2 months, 1062, weight has reduced to 92 kg. It will reduce further also because it's just only 2 months. I will come to cholesterol and other level further before I finish this. So supplements I have given him vitamin E and silymarin 140 milligram twice a day. And then those who are interested, they can note it also. And magnesium glycinate, that is brand of Healthy Hay, that is twice a day, morning and evening. Then I have given him because his B12 level was also very low and he is having migraine. So I have recommended him vitamin B1, B2, B6, B12 and folate. So this I have recommending a brand of this and separately I have recommending methylcobalamin, that is vitamin B12, 1500 microgram per day. He was taking very religiously. So these supplements I have recommended him and tell him to give me the report after the 2 months. So after 2 months the report has come. If you go the lipid parameters, his cholesterol was 243 and his triglyceride was also 243. I was very surprised after seeing the triglyceride. But on January, his triglyceride reduced to only 83. That was a massive reduction in the triglyceride, which is due to the low carb diet he was following. Further, the SGL, there is no much difference, 47 to 46 only. LDL also not much difference. It is 144 and now 135. And VLDL, of course, it will follow because VLDL is the 1/5 or 20% of your triglyceride. So when triglyceride will come down, so VLDL will also come down. That is about the lipid. And this lipid gives me the guidance. Now insulin resistance has reduced. His insulin resistance is very low now. When he came first time, the triglyceride and your SGL level ratio was more than, I think, if you calculate, more than 4 or 5. So a strong, indicating a strong insulin resistance. But after 2 months, the insulin resistance has reduced. That indicates in their fasting and PT blood sugar also. So this is about lipid. And if you want to see the liver profile, you can see a liver also. So SGOT was 48, SGPT 47. Those who are not aware of the normal value of SGOT normal value is below 35. SGPT also normal value below 34. ALP also increased, the normal value is 115. If I am correct, Sasi? ALP normal value is 115. GGT normal value is also less than 30. But his normal value is 59. ALP is 141. He's all reduced after they taking 2 months of the low carb diet, as well as siliverin is also having some role in this, but this all reduced after 2 months of the low carb diet. After seeing this, blood report of the liver profile, I have added vitamin E. Vitamin E is having some role in reducing the liver function, increasing the liver function. And siliverin also induces new protein synthesis in the liver. So these two makes a lot of difference in this liver profile. Further, here you can see the most surprising thing for me also, his TSH level is 7 when he come first in 2 months back. And I guess that had he been not come to me, and after 4, 6, 7 months, this TSH must have gone to 10. So I have given low carb, and I was thinking that if within 2 months the TSH will not come down, then he has to go to some endocrinologist to have some prescription of the thyroxine. But God, he actually helped him, and his TSH had come down to 2.2 only on the low carb. No medicine, nothing. But that is a really big thing for the, thyroid function. His hypothyroidism is almost normal. 2.2 is less than normal. Like normal is, you can say, the 4.9 or 5. And only the problem I was facing is his uric acid level. His uric acid level was 8 point. His uric acid level was 8.7. 8.7. And that man was he was searching the Google. After low carb diet, he was searching a lot of Googling. That is a habit. So he found that intermittent fasting. I told him to you do intermittent fasting for 14 hours only, not more than that. But he did intermittent fasting up to 18 hours to 6 hours. 18 hours without any food, and his eating window was only 6 hours. So that has a lot of impact on the uric acid. Uric acid 8.7 jumped to 9.5. So all those, my friends, please note that long-term fasting, if you have prone to increase the uric acid, don't do long-term fasting. It will further increase the uric acid level. Then vitamin D level was also very low when he came. It was only 16. I given him the dosage of vitamin D, or something slightly different than the normal dosing. I asked him to take 4 days loading dose of vitamin D. that is 60,000 IU, continuously for the 4 days, followed by weekly. And weekly, I have asked him to take at least 8 weeks weekly dose. And then you continue as a monthly dose as a maintenance. So now, after giving this dose, his vitamin D level has come up to 34. Now he is on maintenance dose of monthly, and I will ask him to do again the test after completion of the 3 months from the treatment. If vitamin D level will not further go high, I will ask him to again give the weekly dosage. Now, vitamin B12 was very funny. His B12 was only 77. And that's one of the reason he was feeling fatigue, sleepiness, and lethargy and all. So now B12 level has increased from 77 to 437. What I have given is only methylcobalamin, 1500 microgram per day after food. And difference is you can see that it is 360, sorry. Sasi, any next slide?
I think that's all.
Okay.
So
this is all about this case, and I'm hopeful that this man, if he continue like this, his parameters will further, come down, particularly HbA1c, because he did his HbA1c just after 2 months. So I believe HbA1c, if he'll do next time after 2 months, it will further go down, and it will be less than 5 if he continue to do that. Yes, Sasi, anything?
Yeah, so you did not supplement anything for thyroid?
No, not at all.
Okay, you did not ask him to go to doctor and get some thyroxine?
No.
Okay.
So thyroxine I can also prescribe, but I don't want.
We cannot recommend.
We cannot recommend as a nutritionist, but I was experiment with the case that without giving thyroxine or levothyroxine, if the thyroid can be reduced. Why I have done this? I remember a long time back, about 12 years back. I was there's a my doctor friend of mine. So one case was there. I was sitting in his clinic, and one case has come. His thyroid was TSH was 8. So doctor told him that you go and take your again testing after 1 month. Then I will prescribe medicine. So I told doctor, he was close to me. So doctor, why not you have prescribed thyroxine to him? It is already 8. So bola Arun ji, aisa hai na, you understand that sometimes thyroid go away of his own if he maintain his lifestyle properly. He giving it exercise, khana thoda sweets kam karo, meetha kam khao. These are the normal things he is prescribed. So I don't know whether after 1 month what has happened to that patient, but that was in my mind, back of my mind. So I thought, let us try on this patient, and God actually helped him that it has reduced to just 2.2. That was the thing. Yes.
So Arun Kumar, there's a question. I would appreciate if speaker explains how fasting increases uric acid.
This is actually, I will certainly give you some references also, because I read in some studies that if you continue to do fast, it will increase the, problem in the liver. You know, uric acid is made in liver. So liver will break down the whatever he is getting protein and all, and as a result, there is a formation of uric acid. That is the study I have read. Say 4 or 5 months back. If you want, I can give you a reference also. If I will find out in my collections. Yeah.
Fine. I think that really correlates. Even if you see, there are quite a few studies here which actually says that short-term fasting. It is says that the short-term fasting does raise uric acid.
Yeah. Now I've also told that patient that
this is what happens. I think this people can. This is one of the studies, but nevertheless, there are a lot of studies. Okay?
Yeah.
And what happens is, okay, it may be due to dehydration also.
Possible.
As long as it doesn't cause any other issue like gout and all, it is okay.
He was not having any symptoms, but I suspect one more thing, because being a vegetarian, he is Actually, depending on the vegetable. If
Hmm.
fruits he is not taking, but depending solely on the vegetables.
Hmm.
So if you continue lot of vegetables, it will also having impact on the uric acid. Because many vegetables are having fructose also. So this fructose will break down into further finally the uric acid. So these two things are there. For
And
vegetarians, this is a problem.
Anup Singh is asking, do you think inflammation and TSH are related? Because I see a drop in ESR also.
Yes, yes. Anup has actually raised very valid point. ESR is very clearly a inflammatory marker,
Hmm.
and though I want to do some other inflammatory marker test, but I could not because the client was, I mean, patient was not in the mood to invest further in the money in this blood test. So I told him, ESR is okay, you do this. If ESR will reduce, then it will reduce many of other things. But particularly for this, I have not tasted, but I think other inflammatory markers were also high at that time. Had you haven't tested those things, only ESR was the routine test. So showing 20, I was also suspecting that it has an impact on, but I was not suspecting impact on TSH. ESR will reduce and TSH will reduce. Maybe Anup is a very valid point in that. Yes.
There is one more question
Hmm.
that what do you think brought down the TSH?
It's just a change in the style, lifestyle, changing fooding.
Ah,
If you take lot of carbohydrate, it has an overall impact on the body and inflammation, overall inflammation in the body. If
okay.
you take high carbohydrate diet, like many people are having. So if you reduce your carbohydrate, I know one more person, although I have not given him any advice and all, but simply I told him he was having taking this levothyroxine for his TSH level, I mean hypothyroidism. But I asked him that okay, you continue your medicine, but your medicine will not go, your dosage will not go up further if you continue to with the slightly low carb. I have not asked him to stop roti, stop rice and everything. Have just asked just stop sweets. At least can you stop sweets? Well, yes. Then after 2 or 3 months, I asked him, what is your dosing of the levothyroxine? Because these people are not understanding TSH level and all. So I asked him, what is your levothyroxine dosing? So he told me that 2 months back he has a test to TSH again, and doctor continues the same dose. That means his TSH level not gone further up. So if you simply stop sugar, so sugar will have a anti-inflammatory effect. If you inflammatory effect. If you can stop sugar, then your other inflammatory markers will also reduce. I
See,
think that is the reason.
yeah. See, the other reason is this is there documented in many studies also that insulin resistance raises TSH level. In many ways, insulin resistance itself causes hypothyroidism. One. Secondly, your T4 to T3 conversion happens in the
Yeah,
liver again. And
correct.
someone is having fatty liver or disturbed liver enzymes, there's a likelihood that the conversion will not happen. And hence the thyroid has to work more and raise the TSH level. Very simple. So there's an associated cluster of metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, and fatty liver together will cause it. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Insulin resistance hoga, so you have a
So you
thyroid
address insulin
problem,
resistance.
and you have a fatty liver also.
Yeah. So I think
So if you address the insulin resistance,
yeah.
then both will taken care of.
So Rocha, I think that should address your question, and you can always search PubMed for this. You will find multiple references which says that insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome is associated with raised TSH. Yeah. Is there a danger of gallstone if you have high cholesterol diet from Max Coach? So
Who is asking?
there's someone is asking one of the.
Okay.
Is
Actually,
there a danger of gallstone if you have high cholesterol diet? Yeah.
no, I think high cholesterol diet don't have any relation with the gallstone. If you have a high carb diet, then there is a fear of the gallstone. It's
So
a very
he
simple.
says that my wife detected gallstone taking high cholesterol, low carb diet.
First of all, I would like to just today morning I was reading on a study. First of all, I would like to clear that whatever the carb, I mean cholesterol you are taking, dietary cholesterol you are taking, like your egg and other non-vegetarian, if you are taking, that contributes only 30% of your blood cholesterol. And 70% blood or 75% blood cholesterol is being made by liver, even if you're not taking any cholesterol diet, but your liver can produce much more cholesterol than what is available in the blood. So you cannot stop cholesterol diet and you think that, oh, I'm okay. Gallstone, even if I agree, even if it's caused by the cholesterol, so it is not caused by the dietary cholesterol. That's what.
See, what happens is people initially on what is called as low fat diet, initially, what happens slowly that gallstone formation happens. And the moment they shift to a higher fat diet, and when the bile starts getting released little more than what it was happening, suddenly we discover that there's a stone. It is not that this cholesterol has caused the stone, no, because inherently due to low fat diet earlier, or due to this seed oil diet, there is a cholesterol formation. The small stones are formed on which cholesterol is a part of that stone, and suddenly we see now. So this is the issue. The best thing is to initiate that fat content little slowly. So that's how we do. If people suddenly goes on a low carb high fat diet, this can cause it. So in many people we actually say that you get initiated very slowly, ramp it up very slowly. So that's how. So
actually, when seed oil is also one of the culprits of the gallstone. And what is the gallstone? Gallstone is the combination of the bile salt and your, fat, or you can say the cholesterol. So if it is not being passed, it will make a stone.
And all this, see, this takes time to form. It is not that suddenly you have started.
No, it started with very mini, less than 1 millimeter. And when you will detect it, when it goes up to 4, 5, 10, 30, 40, 60, like this, then you will have a stomach pain and you go to doctor and do the scan and all. That's what. But don't worry. I'm taking, actually, Sasi is also taking, there are many people who are taking high cholesterol diet, but no fear. अभी तो उतना high cholesterol लेने के बाद भी cholesterol नहीं बढ़ता है हमारा. I don't know why. This the liver is producing the.
That is that has been usually what happens. That is a myth which is prevailing, unfortunately, but that is because it was always there and suddenly it has reacted. Yeah. So is it grain? Is it a miracle food? Oppo A3. No, grain is not a miracle food. It is a miracle food that can cause diabetes. What I will say. Excess grain. So it is not a miracle food at all. Sorry. Since the speaker mentioned background of Western family, apart from eggs, did he compensate for protein requirement? Mr. Irfan is asking, since the speaker mentioned you are a vegetarian, apart from egg, how did you compensate for protein requirement?
Protein requirement. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's very easy. Actually, I'm taking 4 to 5 eggs in 24 hours. Normal 24 hours means in lunch, I usually have 3 eggs and any form. But it is egg bhurji or egg omelette or boiled egg, any form. And in night, I take 2 eggs. That is also any form. And further, I take 2 scoops of the whey protein. One in the morning, one in the afternoon or say evening. That's my protein intake. Apart from this, I'm taking some nuts, that is almonds, walnuts, peanuts and all. But that is a very little amount of the protein. Major protein comes from the eggs and whey. Yeah.
Fine. So there's a question here from Oppo A3. Why India still believes grain is a miracle food? In fact, I will say that one step ahead, India does not believe grain is a miracle food. They suddenly believe that millets are a miracle food. So but let me tell you that my quote, this is my personal quote, that Indians are grainitarians. So we need grains in breakfast, lunch, in all snacks, even in our dreams, we need grains. Yeah. So grains are not miracle food. In fact, since the advent of agriculture 10,000 years back, our health has only come down. So grains are not miracle food at all. People may believe anything, so it doesn't matter. So
actually, we are addicted to grains. Actually,
whatever it is,
how I can, because if you say don't take grains, so simple question, sir, तो फिर क्या खाएंगे? So you know what addiction is there, level of addiction of there.
So let me put it in a, our high grain and high seed oil is causing diabetes. We have a direct correlation. So it is not a miracle food at all. It is only creating a lot of confusion. One more question was 6 to 8. I was taking 6 to 8 eggs completely, was last 4 months, increases cholesterol more than 500, LDL more than 400. Mr. Vijay Gupta, see, 400 and 500. It
500.
cannot be.
I could not
So,
understand what he was
he
saying.
says 6 to 8 eggs he's taking in 4 months. His cholesterol is 500, total cholesterol, LDL is 400. Earlier, they were okay with 2 eggs.
No, but you cannot blame eggs. Nah, there are others. What the other things he is
And
saying?
Arun Kumar, right? But so
Yeah.
because he's telling her, he was suddenly, he has ramped up to 6 to 8 from 2 eggs. So it has cost. So Mr. Vijay Gupta, we need to do a lot of other things. This information which you are given is not sufficient. There's a possibility that you may have developed hypothyroidism due to various reasons. That one thing. There are some people who are hyper responders, so they are going to respond. Are you an athlete? Then you can be what is called as lean mass hyper responder. So there are a lot of other things which is involved. We need to know everything. Okay. How to dissolve gallstone with diet? So we have no idea on this. Do you know
No,
anything?
actually, if the gallstone is less than 2 mm,
Hmm.
if it is less than 2 mm, then low carb diet will certainly help to resolve. Low carb diet with high vitamin C doses will reduce the. But if it is more than 2 mm, then I don't think we have any diet can do miracle to reduce the gallstone.
Can you explain the correlation between insulin resistance and inflammation?
Insulin resistance and
Inflammation.
inflammation, yeah. Who is asking?
पूछ रहा है कोई. Some Mr. Irfan is asking.
Actually, if you see what is the insulin resistance, first of all, insulin resistance is the stage when your cells are not able to uptake the glucose. Very first thing. That means insulin is not helping serum glucose, I mean blood glucose, to put inside the cells. So blood sugar remains in the stream, and if continues, then slowly blood sugar will go high. And if that will cause your diabetes, what you call the diabetes. But diabetes is started much before when you found your blood glucose level. That is the one thing. When this sugar or glucose will continue in the blood, then what body will do? Body will put into the adipose tissues, I mean fat cells. Then fat cells will be accumulated more than their capacity. Then they will refuse to take further, glucose. What you can say energy also. This glucose will remain in the body and causing lot of the adverse effect. And when it causing the adverse effect, it causing the lot of inflammatory markers also increasing. Because if your blood glucose will high, it will increase the TNF alpha, increase the IL-6, increase the ESR, and many other inflammatory markers, which show that because these will high blood glucose will go to different organs. You know, blood is the tissue which moves to each and every cells and tissue of the body. So it will, when there is a high glucose in the blood, it will damage all these cells, and when damage will happen, then body's response to damage is through the inflammatory marker. That is the inflammation. Inflammation is just showing that you are getting getting hurt, you are getting injured. Inflammation itself is not any disease, but it is showing you are getting injured inside, whether injuring in the lungs, injuring in the heart, injuring in the cranial, or injuring any other parts. That is how this insulin resistance will damage to your body. Anything want to clarification in this?
Yeah. There's one more question. Let me just come back. My C peptide is 1.02. What should be my fasting insulin? By Vijay Gupta. See, there is no such formula by which you can ascertain what would be. Everything is actually we need to measure everything and correlate. And there is no such formula that what will be your fasting insulin. Absolutely. Sorry.
Better you should go for the fasting insulin test.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, we need to do C-peptide also in some cases where we suspect that there could be insulin deficiency, but there is no such correlation that both will match. Does egg yolk increase LDL and triglyceride?
No. First of thing, we should understand that triglyceride, first I'm taking triglyceride. Triglyceride increase in your blood when your carbohydrate intake is high. It is not your fat, even or your seed oil consumption is high. So carbohydrate is converted to the triglyceride by the liver excess triglyceride, and that will increase your triglyceride. LDL, as far as concerned, LDL is just a carrier of cholesterol which takes cholesterol from liver to cells. So that is a carrier of the cholesterol, LDL. But LDL itself is not bad. And second thing, LDL will not increase on the uh, increase on the low carb diet or increase on the fat in consumption. It will be increased only when you are having very low carb diet you're doing, and it will increase. No connection between the fat and LDL. Okay,
Right.
Shashi?
Yeah. So there's one more question. Does whey protein spike insulin?
This is very interesting. I'm telling you. Fortunately, yesterday night I was reading one about this milk, dairy products, and insulin spike. So whey protein is what? Whey protein is extracted from the whey from the milk. Milk has two type of protein, that is casein and whey. Whey is the liquid form which we drain out or make the whey protein. Whey protein when you take, it will spike the insulin to little bit, but some person it may spike more than that. It is person to person varies. Yes.
Yeah, let me address this question. Insulin spiking is not bad. Let me tell you that if protein spikes insulin, it is very brief, it is not extended, and it is anabolic in nature. So don't confuse too much. See, people talk too much on insulin spikes. People do not understand what insulin spikes are. Insulin spike may hamper the production of ketones, and it could not be good for those on ketogenic diet for neurological condition like epilepsy or any other neurological condition. So for us, it does not matter even if it spikes a little. It's not going to make any difference for us. What we should be first afraid is blood sugar spikes more than insulin spike. Insulin spike is somehow now being spoken by everyone as if they know everything. I'm sorry to say, half of the people who speak on insulin spike do not know anything. So don't worry about insulin spikes and take whey protein. Don't take, I always suggest for those who are insulin resistant not to take whey protein on empty stomach. Please take it after meal. And we don't recommend to everyone. We recommend only to select people, especially vegetarians who cannot keep up the protein requirement, or for those who are going for heavy exercises like gyms where they can do that's how. So let's avoid that, and we can take it after meal, and then don't worry about this insulin spikes at all. We should not be too much worried. Yeah, Mr. Vijay Gupta says my total fat was more than 175. I am taking 25 GL diet, all the other parameters, okay, height, weight, HbA1c is less than 5. Fine, okay, fine, okay. I mean, that doesn't answer, okay. Yeah, Bhavesh, fine. You have put that message on LDL and cholesterol, I think. Yeah, fine, okay. Fine, thanks, Bhavesh. Oppo A3, if the TG ratio to HDL is within normal, is it registered to check serum insulin? Yes. Oppo A3, see what happens is we cannot take anything in isolation. We need to check everything. So it is better to check fasting insulin, serum insulin also. 175 is too high. Okay, we'll keep replying. Does insulin spike restricted to 55 minutes at the time? Take restrict food. See, there are a lot of theories on this insulin spike and all. Okay. So let us not enter into a lot of complex thing. What a simple thing is, take low carb meals 2 times a day, make it an intermittent fasting.
One thing, Sasi, I'm adding here. Insulin spike is a question. Many people will surprise, even by thought of the food, your insulin will spike. Without putting anything in your mouth, even but thinking of the food, insulin will spike. Insulin will spike for each and every year. Maybe the degree will be high or low, but any food will spike insulin. But it is very insignificant and temporarily, maybe for few minutes and few 1 or 2 hours maximum. As whey protein you are taking, I think it is not more than half an hour to 45 minutes for insulin spike.
See, don't bother too much about this because my postprandial insulin after 2 hours is just around 25. And I have done this after taking heavy protein diet and added a scoop of whey protein also. So 25 is perfectly fine and absolutely will not cause any problem.
Very fine.
So this is how I have measured after 2 hours. I have not measured those typical craft pattern till 4 or 5 hours, but 2 hours itself was a satisfying thing for me that it's not spiking too heavily.
I'm taking heavy protein every day. My fasting insulin is 2.35. So I don't think it will have a much impact on that.
Are you hinting on 6 meal? Okay, fine. Okay. Fine, I think that's all the questions are here. In case anyone wants to ask any more question, if they want to ask directly also they can do. I have given the option that people can unmute and ask if they want. Fine.
No question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I wanted to ask something about mustard oil. Since most of the Indians are consuming mustard oil, I wanted, to know everything about it. Is it healthy or not?
First of all, I'm telling you, it is not healthy. For me, actually, I'm totally against of any seed oil. Any seed oil, whether it is cold pressed, hot pressed, hydrogenated or not. But I want everybody to avoid all the seed oils. Seed oils, including which is labeled also the vegetable oil. In fact, that is not the vegetable oil, but it is also seed oil. Any seed oil. Why not we are taking ghee? What is wrong in it? What is taking the butter? What's wrong in it? So don't take any seed oil. I'm actually, why I'm telling you, I'm a bit harsh with the seed oil or seed oil taker. Many of persons are asking me, sir, ये तो सामने से मैंने लाया है, कोल्हू में से लाया है. But no, seed oil is seed oil. And second thing, what I have noticed in my experience as far as seed oil is concerned, if you not taking seed oil for 6 months or 1 year, there will be no sunburn. I had a lot of sunburn problem when 10, 12 years back I was moving in the sun. But now there is no sunburn. I tried, I have seen. So this is the additional benefit to you. And undoubtedly seed oil is also covering insulin resistance. It will make your cells insulin resistant. So don't take seed oil. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so yeah, that ideally it is like that ideally you don't take, but I am little lenient that if you cannot, then take some small quantity cold pressed mustard oil. So that's how I advise. And I think it's your choice. We have a choice of being healthy. So try and use as less as possible is what I say. Always I say.
Actually, see what happens if you go for the moderation. If you go, people will take it a guarantee. Okay, so sir ने तो बोला है खाने के लिए. So that's the problem. That's why I'm totally stopped. This case, I totally stopped. I have written no seed oil. This was my prescription.
Even we don't use. We totally at my home we only use these three. Yeah, palm oil comes under seed oil, Oppo A3. See, palm oil, unrefined, palm kernel oil, PKO or red oil is actually good. Most of the palm oil which are available are all refined, bleached, and deodorized.
Yeah.
So I don't prefer that. It is still better than the average seed oil, let me tell you. It is still better than, but we don't use this. It is refined, bleached, deodorized, used under high temperature. So
actually, most of the palm oil is coming, from outside, particularly Malaysia.
It is all RBD. It is all RBD.
All RBD. So and pure palm oil you cannot take also.
Very difficult.
So why not? If you want to take palm oil, then take coconut oil. Virgin coconut oil.
See, Bhavesh, what is the need to take red palm oil? What is the need? There's no need to take because we have good options here. And most of the options which are available will not be good. But it may be available in certain part. If you go to Amazon, you will find red palm oil costing very, very, very costly. And there is no guarantee of it being really healthy. Correct. We have a lot of healthy options. Instead of using this, use ghee.
Ghee is the best option. You can cook any food. You can usko fry kar do, usme kitna bhi temperature de do, koi problem nahi hota.
And let me tell you, we fry papads in coconut oil. occasionally, not every day. And let me tell you that it doesn't taste bad. It tastes quite okay. You can
Actually, Shashi, I experience. I'm from the Eastern India. I don't have any exposure of the virgin coconut oil or coconut oil. When we started taking coconut oil, say about 2015 or 16, तो मेरे घर में सबने अपोज किया कि ये it is smelling. I told you, Sasi, when you were making, I was making paratha, our low carb paratha in coconut oil. At that time, making the paratha, there was some smell. But when you start eating, no smell. I'm telling you, no smell. You cannot find कि ये घी में बना है कि ये coconut oil में बना है.
That is true. And we have done that with our guests also. No one can make a difference actually. If you use a small quantity. Yeah, dairy allergy, Bhavesh. See, Bhavesh, if you have dairy allergy, that is less likely that you will be allergic to ghee because all the proteins, everything is removed. It is pure fat. So please check if you can tolerate that. Otherwise, maybe then you'll have to have some. Maybe just try and see if you can adopt coconut oil. And I think there is nothing best than coconut oil.
Yeah.
Don't go for this palm oil and everything. You will not enjoy. And I have not tasted that, but I really don't know. Okay.
Actually, I want to put here what the dairy allergy means. You have allergy to the dairy protein.
Yeah,
if there is no protein in ghee, so how can you be allergic to dairy? Ghee चल सकता है, butter भी थोड़ा बहुत चल सकता है. So, but you go for the coconut oil, virgin coconut oil.
And then see, we have two person here, Anup Singh and Arun Kumar, who are from North India. So they have always used mustard oil traditionally, but
yeah, correct.
they have adapted to coconut oil very nicely. Yes, so supplement for fatty liver, what about choline? Mr. Anurag Sharma is asking.
Yeah, choline is actually being prescribed by mainstream doctor also, and choline is a very old product for fatty liver. In this fatty liver case, I have not given choline. I have given silimarin, which is you can say the supplement. Silimarin is a supplement. It is not a drug. It is derived from the plant. And first it is as a milk thistle, and then from the milk thistle it is derived the silimarin. So silimarin is a natural thing, and you can give. And I have seen many cases. The silimarin works very good. Actually, it enhances the protein synthesis inside the liver. So that's why I always prefer silimarin. Choline also you can give, but choline is not work like silimarin because it will not synthesize protein inside the liver. That's why. Choline is also good for liver. Yes.
I think the best thing for liver is one is go low carb and another is intermittent fasting. So
low carb
more fasting also.
Yeah. Intermittent fasting and low carb is the best. And if you cannot do intermittent fasting, then I suggest at least fast once in a week. That is complete 24-hour fast. And you can add vitamin E also in that cases in fatty liver. Depends what is the state of the fatty liver.
Fine. Ghee cause itching, Bhavesh. Bhavesh will communicate separately. I'll tell you what to do.
Then Visio, take Visio.
Fine. Choline helps in fat metabolism. Noted butter ghee. What content should we have for vegetarian low carb high fat? As my weight is on how to increase weight. Yeah, I have replied that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Fine. Content should we have? See, Max, you need to find a low carb coach and get it tailor-made individually. So on a broad base, we can just say that you can have vegetables, nuts, seeds, protein sources like curd, hung curd, cheese, and paneer. So I think we need to titrate that individually. Okay.
It depends on what is the weight and how much you have to increase. Accordingly, the diet will be titrated. No?
So I think that will help. Weight is, how to increase, Mr. Vijay Gupta, how to increase weight? See,
स्पेस लिखा है
Vijay,
130 रुपए.
Vijay.
Somebody has opened up.
वो सब्जी ले रहा है मार्केट में विजय गुप्ता. विजय चौधरी सॉरी. वो सब्जी ले रहा है मार्केट में और वो अटेंड कर रहा है. ठीक है. There was one more question here. क्या है? Choline helps in side. How to increase? See, when people say how to increase weight, I ask whether you want to increase muscle mass or whether you want to increase.
सर
body
मैं नहीं हूँ
mass. हाँ ठीक है बंद कर, अभी तो सब्जी ले रहा था उधर, चल विजय तेरे को मैंने म्यूट किया अभी, ठीक है. Which proteins are better, animals or fat? See, animal protein is obviously better because it is a complete protein, first class protein. While there will be fights going on in social media and everywhere, animal proteins are best. How to increase weight? So whether you want to increase fat or whether you want to increase muscle. So see, each one of us have a predetermined weight. While there are formulas that we will say this should be your average weight plus minus, but there is always a predetermined weight. For example, I am underweight grossly. I was never overweight. I am 175. My average weight has to be 75. I was never 75. By the time I reached 69, 70, I was diabetic. So I'm currently 62, 63. It keeps fluctuating. So there is no predetermined weight. But if you want to really put on weight, have more protein, go to gym, build up muscles. So that is the best form. Yeah.
And that too, animal protein you have to take.
Animal, yeah.
Actually,
Whatever,
that
first
plant
protein, dairy protein, animal protein, whatever we can take.
uh,
Animal protein is the best outright.
and don't take soy protein.
Yeah, that is one of the worst form of protein we'll have. Yeah. Any more questions?
Can you tell us something about stevia?
Who's asking that? Yusuf.
Yes, Irfan Yusuf.
See, there are a lot of controversy on stevia. People will say this is good, this is bad, this is good. But personally, I've been using stevia for last 7 years, and I think Arun Kumar is also using.
Yeah, I'm also using for last 7 years, more than 7 years. Actually, initially you have some taste problem, but you have to develop the taste for stevia. And फिर उसका तो फिर चीनी से ज़्यादा अच्छा stevia लगता है.
So
Don't
we have
worry.
been using, there is no disturbance, nothing, absolutely. And I think, see, we are sacrificing so much that we don't mind having a little of stevia, absolutely. There's no issue.
There are a lot of studies which also say that stevia will help you to control your blood sugar also. But that is the bullshit. I'm not. But yesterday, I think, Sasi, we have one report about
I posted
stevia.
this today itself.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
So that's there is no harmful effect of this stevia. It's a very safe.
See,
Only you have to develop the taste.
in certain studies, what there were last study which was where they have combined everything. Sucralose, aspartame, saccharin, stevia, sugar, everything they have combined. But if you really analyze that report, if you narrow down, you will find that stevia is not so bad, unlike the other sucralose or A-sulfiram K or saccharin. So we really need to go into the studies and not broadly classified. There will always be someone who says stevia is good, someone will say bad, someone will say get off sweet taste, someone will say you keep. So these things will go on. It is an individual choice, is what I say. People prefer to get off sweet taste. It is okay. Some want, like I want it. So I have written stevia. Can ghee be used regularly with chapati, cow and buffalo ghee? Yes, Praveen Raghuvanshi, you can use. Okay. Yeah, cephalic phase, what it is. You want to explain what is cephalic phase, Arun Kumar?
Cephalic phase, I couldn't understand where it is written.
जाने दो ना वो cephalic phase बोल दो ना वही sweet taste का है वो.
अच्छा. Actually, you have to look at all your control, your body control, your mind control. That will control your sweet taste.
That is what Arun Kumar has said. Something the very thought of food or actually saying the food can actually go and release lot of enzymes, including insulin.
Yeah, it's simple. If you think your choice food, there will be ptyalin secretion in your mouth or saliva secretion in your mouth, which contains ptyalin, and that will further goes down, and you will feel. Your insulin will be also a spike. Insulin will also leak. And let me tell you that even if you're taking the stevia, aspartame, or sucralose, any artificial sweetener or natural sweetener, these all spike insulin, but degree is varying. And other side effects also take care of that. But stevia is very safe, and you can develop taste of stevia. Sweet taste to sabko hai na. We are all of Indian have the sweet taste, and particularly our tongue, the food. सामने का जो आपका टंग है, that contains the sweet taste bud. तो पहले स्वीट वही दिखता है और लास्ट में आपका टंग में जो वो आता ना sour taste का bud. So develop your sweet taste.
Fine. So please explain the mechanism of inositol, how it works for PCOS.
I think this requires another session. If you want, we can do another session for that.
I think somewhere,
Actually,
somewhere inositol actually influences the insulin. So it somehow the mechanism of action is such that it takes care of insulin resistance to some extent, and it also affects a lot of other this messenger or chemicals in the brain such as serotonin or dopamine. In fact, inositol, personally, let me tell you, I find it very useful in not only addressing insulin resistance, in also giving sleep. In fact, if you take a couple of grams at night along with magnesium, it gives good sleep. Inositol at a higher dose, like to around 10 mg or something, to 10 grams, sorry, 2 grams to 10 grams. In many cases, it can little control that midnight craving. Some of the people who have a lot of craving,
craving.
midnight craving, there are some studies which are shown that it can little control at a higher dose. So inositol is a good supplement for PCOS and to address insulin resistance also. So
basically it controls insulin resistance. In some study, I've seen the inositol is also being used in the management of the blood sugar, high blood sugar.
Yeah.
So that is the controlling insulin resistance, and PCOS is also caused by insulin resistance.
In fact, there are some studies which also shows that now, which were discussed in our forum along with Anup Singh, that how inositol can be useful in autoimmune thyroiditis also. So possibly,
yeah.
A lot of studies which are coming in which shows that how it is useful. We are just exploring the usage of many of the supplements. Yes, so only good quality ghee, butter. I think you need to find that. Like Anup Singh says, Amul is something which is good. Organic India brand is also good. You can use that.
The best brand is your homemade ghee. Undoubtedly best brand. थोड़ा सा मेहनत पड़ता है, but that is the best brand.
I think that is, I agree, totally I agree.
Best brand.
Fine. Any other questions? Anyone who wants to ask anything? I think we have addressed most of the question which is typed here. I hope it is true that fat from milk product causes insulin resistance as per. I can only laugh at that, Rocha. Is it true that milk product causes insulin resistance as per vegans? What happens is fat causes insulin resistance, yes, but what kind of fat? We eat excess carbohydrate and that goes to the liver and gets converted to fat via de novo lipogenesis, and that is what causes the insulin resistance, not this fat we have. In fat also there are various fats. So they have found that the fat which is converted via de novo lipogenesis is totally different. It is, or let us say it is, I think if I recall well, I don't know, Arun Kumar, you can correct me, or Anup Singh, I think it is palmitic acid.
Yeah, palmitic acid.
Whereas
yes, I was going to tell you that, it is causing inflammation and insulin resistance both.
And what we
don't
find
get that
in this milk product are primarily stearic acid, so don't worry. So vegans are jokers, as Anup Singh says.
Milk product is very good. In very few cases, you cannot tolerate. You have an intolerance to the milk product, but it's a very good. It's a very nice.
I mean, many of the even newer studies have actually told that milk product, dairy is very good for us. So
if you are not diabetic, that even you can enjoy milk, direct milk. But if you are diabetic, then avoid milk. That's all.
That's true. So Prabha, I think Rocha, yeah, thanks. I think now you are getting it. Varsha, thanks. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Anything else? Anyone wants to ask anything? Arvind Puri is entering. Anyone wants to ask anything? They can ask. Yeah, Oppo A3. Yeah, that's true. Healthy fats are good. That we call it low carb and healthy fat. So that's how we call it. Not low carb and high fat. Low carb and healthy fat.
Healthy fat is good unless you are on low carb. अगर आप low carb में नहीं है तो healthy fat is also bad. अब ये एक रोटी पे 4 चम्मच घी लगा के खाता तो low carb.
Exactly, sir. I was going to say that कि रोटी पे दोनों तरफ घी लगा के low carb नहीं होता है.
वो आपको low carb high fat नहीं होगा.
Now that will add to the energy toxicity. I mean, too much also. We need to reduce. No doubt. Let me tell you, in all conditions, fat like ghee is actually protective. It is actually protective. But
fat is the best.
That is actually, ghee is actually protective in nature. But then we don't understand, and very often this excess of either way leads to energy toxicity. Fine. Any more questions? I think we had a good discussion now.
That's a very good audience and very good questions.
Fine. So we'll wind up now. So Arun Kumar, thank you very much for. Wait, there's one question. I'm low carb, 20 gram along with great. Okay, you are doing great. So thank you very much, Arun Kumar, for the excellent session. I think the case study which you have shown, it's really actually encouraging for for us. And this is a case study where you have reversed diabetes, thyroid disorder, and also the liver enzyme or fatty liver could have been.
I have not mentioned why, but migraine is also, of course, it was a very little 3 months migraine attack, but that had no, so far there is no migraine attack after that.
Fine. That's I think, see, on the closing, let me tell that even for migraine condition, low carb or ketogenic diet is the best to resolve it, and with adding little more salt. And so thanks, Arun Kumar, for this excellent session, and we look forward for more such sessions in coming time.
Yeah.
And thanks, DLF. Yeah, Arun Kumar.
Yeah, thank you, Shashi, and thanks, Delight, to providing this platform to discuss all these diet-related queries and presenting my case, which will certainly give you many people how to deal with these different things. Thanks, Shashi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Shashi. Now I have a very typical case on hand. So that we both will discuss. All of us.
Yeah, that I'm waiting.
Yes, sir. Even I'm waiting. Let's see. If it works, then it will be a trade secret.
Yeah.